Slow it down like Tupac. I get around this J Dilla beat. You hear the sound and you already know it's going down. I'm freestyling and I'm wildin'. I'm by myself, I feel like a island. I'm going all in, cause this is the sixth show. And I'm like Shaolin, cause I'm a monk, beating up these punks. Cause I'm somewhere in the trunk. You can't find me. Uh, I'm like a hidden treasure. You can't hide me. Hey, what's good, y'all? I hope y'all was effing with my little freestyle that I had going on. 8 people in the chat. What's that? You already know when I rap, I spit facts. It's all true though. I gotta do it for the niggas that think it's pseudo. Yeah, freaky like Scorpio. Send you to Pluto. You ain't ready. I dance on the beat like Eddie. Make it ring like confetti. Uh, I run the game like I'm Tommy Vercetti. Let me get the machete. I'ma cut you off. Uh, they don't really want it when I'm involved. All right, let me stop. I can do this all day. Let me cut this beat off. All right. So what's good? What's good? What's popping? Um. So let me, keep me posted. Let me know how my audio sounds. Let me know if the beat is too loud. Um. We got a lot to talk about today. I damn near wasn't about to go live today. I don't know what's going on energetically today, but it's just like the energy is so low today for some reason. Energy is real low, real low. I started to feel sick. Like I don't like that. So what Genesis says. Um, God created the world in 6 days, and then He rested on the seventh. So that's what I'm gonna do. I did this for 6 days straight, and I'm gonna rest on the seventh. So we gotta make sure we can get all this out. Um, we've definitely been on a journey. Shout out to everybody who's been rocking with me on this journey about the metaphysics of manifestation. If I would have tried to do this whole thing in one go, it would have been easily a world record stream. It would have been probably like an 8-hour stream, more than that. When you take all the videos I've done so far and put them all together, you got a good 7, maybe 8 hours, including this one. So it might be like 9 or 10 hours worth of content. So I definitely appreciate all the people who've donated, all the people who support and stuff like that, because your support is greatly appreciated. So this is going to be a continuation of what I was talking about yesterday. So let me go ahead. It's funny, like when I'm doing this, so I'm doing this on my shadow. So that's why the audio is a lot clearer, and I can actually go outside and walk around and just hold my phone and do this. I kind of miss those days back in 2020. When I pretty much had a whole like half a year long hotel stay before the hotel that I was staying at got bad. Like 2020 really, the The pandemic really messed up that hotel. It's nothing like the way it used to be. But I remember those nights where, I would be able to do my mixes live and do those long live streams. Got like 40 something people in the chat. You know, those were the good old days. Hopefully, one day I'll be able to get back to that. What in the world? Yeah, hopefully one day we'll get back to that. You know, so those were some good old days. Let me do a roll call right quick. Roll call. I see 8 people in the chat, 7 people in the chat. Shout your name out. Say what's up. Say what's up in the chat. What's up, Satral? We got Satral in the building. We got. Let me see. We got Main G. We got Main G in the building. You know, who else in the building? Say what's up. Say what's up. If you at work, let me know. If you just at home chilling, if you got your spliffy and you ready to hear me hopefully wrap this up, we'll see. You know, say what's up in the chat. So for those who's in the chat as well, let me know how y'all been feeling about this series so far. You know, have y'all been able to equate a lot of the things that I've been saying to your own life? You know, let me know. Let me know if you think I'm reaching. What's up, Empress Goddess? Empress Goddess Tarot, what's good? Love and light. What's good? Hey, don't get me saying your name wrong. Iram Cyril at home making cookies with the kids. That is so dope. Shout out to all the baboos. Shout out to all the baboos. These new baboos that's coming up in this generation, they ain't with none of that BS that we were able to be programmed under. The title got my attention. Yeah, we gonna talk about it. Because in this world of Maya, marriage is a mirage. You know, and at the end of the day, you know, it's nothing wrong with a mirage if you're the one with the projector. You know, and the thing about it is, the reason why marriage today doesn't work, because the mirage that was created, it didn't really come from you. You know, when you're doing your vows, and you know, when you're developing this mindset that you want to get married and all of that, it has nothing to do with your own individual original wants and needs and desires. You know, either what's good, young Shiva, what's good? You know, either you're getting married because you know, somebody like me, like I really feel like my mom and dad deserves to be grandparents and have some little grandkids running around, and you know, and I'm the type where, you know, I'm not trying to have no kids out of wedlock. So if I did have some kids, you know, I would be married. I would want to be married to have kids. You know, so you got some people like that. You know, they feel like they got some good parents, and they parents be like, you know, when you gonna bring me some grandkids? You know, absolutely super information. And I can relate, being a daughter of Oshun and Leo Moon. Oh my God. What's good, baby Oshun? What is popping? So tell me why every morning since I've been doing these live streams, every morning when I wake up, and you know, it's been raining a lot in Miami. It's been raining a lot. Tell me why every morning when I wake up, and I look at my windshield, there's always, it looks like cat paws. It looked like either baby lion paws or like, I know it ain't no baby lion paws. I'm not in the Sahara, um, you know. But there's cat paws. I wish I had a picture. I wish I could show y'all the picture. But there's cat paws, cat paw prints on my windshield. You know, so that's very interesting. Um, there's this episode that I want to do. I've been having this vision um where it's gonna be like this part in the episode where the baby Oshun turns into this little cute kitty, and and she's just annoying the hell out of the baby Eshu. Baby Eshu is like, why in the world did I agree to take her with me on this adventure? You know, and the baby Oshun, she going over here looking at this, and then she going over there looking at that, and then all of a sudden she turns into a little cat. And the baby Eshu, what are you doing? What are you doing? And then the baby Oshun, mommy says I can be whatever I want to be, so now I'm a kitty. You know, it's just that the kitten, the kitten that I want to get, that shit is expensive. Is it because it looks realistic? It looks realistic, but it's super expensive. You know, so that's gonna be on down the line. Literally, all the money that y'all been sending me for donations and stuff like that, all of it has been going towards my animated series. You know, because that's my baby. You know, that's my new you know, that's my baby. I gotta grow it. You know, and my dream is that one day, you know, when I see a lot of these anime conventions and stuff like that, you know, one day maybe, I'm not gonna say maybe, but one day in the future, I'm gonna see some people dressed up like the baby Eshu, see some girls dressed up like the baby Oshun, you know, the grown up Oshun, you know, Oya, Shango, all of the Orishas that are in my animated series, you know. Also, I want to ask y'all, so has anyone yet guessed the Orisha that is in my community tab post? There's a community tab where it's this girl with this bow and arrow, and she got these 4 long braids, and it looked like she's about to snipe somebody with that bow and arrow. Let me see. Loving your energy. Yay, count me in. Yeah. One thing that I've noticed a lot about the baby Eshu while doing this inner child work, you know, well, one thing we know for sure by looking at other Virgos, the baby Eshu is a excellent mimic, especially if he's inspired. You know, if the baby Eshu is inspired by something, no, it's not Pumbagita. Pumbagita would be red. She would be like this fine as she'd be like this fine as Brazilian looking chick with red lipstick, with a flower in her hair. She'll probably have like a rose in her hair, with a nice ass like a sexy red and black dress on. That's how I envision Pumbagita to look. So now it's not Pumbagita. You know, the green that she has on is very telling. You know, the green, the military pants, you know, that's very, very telling of what she represents. And that's just a Babu form, you know. So yeah, you know, definitely, you know, if y'all want to support me, you know, with my animation and stuff like that, go to my website, www.bandclaptv.com. Scroll down and you can see the first 2 episodes of my animated series Eshu's World. We know that Oya's colors, well, Oya's colors are purple, like purple, and well, in my animation her colors are going to be purple and gold, you know. Yeah, like purple and gold and black, you know, representing royalty, the crown chakra, all of those type of things. So it's not Oya. It's gonna be a while. It's gonna be a while before Oya comes into the scene. It's gonna be a while because I wanna showcase some more orishas that y'all may not have heard a lot of, and I want to give them a chance to to shine in my animation. Because I know after I'm doing this, even while I'm doing this, there's probably going to be some more animations and some more films and stuff that come out based on the orishas. But I want to have a unique version of this myself. I want to have something unique where I can tell my stories. So let's get into it. We got 11 people in the building, so let's get into it. So yesterday's live stream was the audio wasn't as good as I liked. Yeah, you just guessing now, because Osayin is a guy. Osayin is a guy. Osayin is a guy. But yeah, so and this Orisha has a lot to do with what I've been talking about these last few live streams. Like she's like every embodiment of what I've been talking about, as far as with the energy behind the words and stuff. So how many of y'all was able to check out last night's live stream? Because I know that it wasn't the best audio wise. In the chat, let me know if you were able to check out last night's stream where I was talking about the misconceptions of sex and dating. Because in that live stream I talked about once you get to that, once you go up the river and you're at the top of the river and stuff like that, and you have your sights set on the sea, now this is the time where you need to go fishing for a companion that can help you once you get to the sea. Because once you get to the sea and once you get to the ocean, you need to be in a ship. It will behoove you when you get to the ocean and when you get to the sea, well, really, definitely the ocean. It will behoove you that that you're in a ship. Whatever type of ship that is going to be strong enough in order to to get you where you're trying to go. Nah, Yemoya is blue. I'll check them out tomorrow, and if she has to do with sex and dating, I would say Oshun or Yemoya. Nah, nope. There are going to be some different versions of Oshun, though. The grown-up Oshun. There's going to be different versions of the grown-up Oshun. But the model that I have for the baby Oshun, that's pretty much going to be who she is. I'm gonna create some more clothes for her. I may put her in some more hairstyles, but that's pretty much going to be who the baby Oshun is. So I talked about the three ways that we have been taught to fish. And we know that fishing, when we're talking about relationships, that's dating. That's dating. And peep what I said. Peep peep all the time that you had to spend alone before you actually get to the part where you're actually like serious, being serious, dating in a serious way. you know so all the way from the pond, from the pondering, from the pond to the lake, you first start making sales, all the way till you get up the river, till you get to a point where that you're able to rise above your competition. It's only until you got all of this together that you're now equipped to turn your boat into a ship and start looking for someone, you know, who can embark on this with you. It takes a while. If you're doing this right as a man, a lot of your life is going to be spent building yourself up. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to be a monk. I'm not saying you're going to be a monk, but at least be like the baby at you and have your rubber balloons. Have your rubber balloons with you if you trying to if you want to do something. But for a lot of this time, especially when you want to be focused, like when you got a goal that you're trying to manifest, when that you're a marriage minded man, when that you want to build generational wealth and stuff like that, you're gonna spend a lot of time alone working on yourself, getting your businesses together, getting all your stuff together. You're gonna spend a lot of time doing that before you get serious and say, okay, now I want to start being serious and dating, and or serious and go fishing and find me a mermaid goddess, who's gonna help me on this sea journey. Because see, us as men, we're the captains of the boat and stuff like that, and we're sailing on top of the sea. So you don't have to do this, but it will behoove you to have a sea goddess with you. Have a mermaid sea goddess with you that has agreed to be with you on this journey, and so that way you're in the boat and she's outside the boat and she's underwater, but she's right there with you. She's right there. She can see the ship. She can see the hull of the ship above her. So you don't have to worry about where she's going, or who she's with while she's underwater, and she don't have to worry about where you're going or who you're with while you're up top, because at the end of the day, this is the only way that you can have a ironclad type of situation. There's a lot of trust. There's a lot of trust that goes into that. Just like just like when you're trying to leave generational wealth behind for your children, you call it a trust. You call that a trust. And then that treasure is called a trove. A treasure, a trove. All of this goes in with that. So on the live stream that I did yesterday, I was talking about the three types of ways that we were taught how to fish. I talked about the first way that we've been taught how to fish, is the traditional way, which are fishing rod and your line and your bait. And this is the traditional way. This is the way that you see on TV. This is the way that you see, the way that you've been taught by your parents. What you see out in the world, is the traditional way of fishing. We know what the fishing rod represents. You know, we know what that represents. And then you got the fishing line. You know, the fishing lines, and you got to have some long fishing lines in order for you to, you know, to make it out to the you know, to wherever you're fishing at. And then you got the bait. You know, the bait is what's going to get the fish hooked. You know, onto your lines. You know, so when we're talking about dating and relationships and stuff like that, when we're talking about sex and dating, you know, there's a lot of focus put on the rod. There's a lot of focus put on the rod and the lines. You know, and you know, if we're doing it this type of way, you know, this is the reason why we got a lot of incels. You know, we have a lot of guys thinking that they're incompetent and stuff like that, because you know they feel like that their rod isn't long enough to reach the fish goddesses. You know, that he trying to get with. You know, he don't feel like his rod is powerful enough. You know, and then like I was saying yesterday too, you know, there's really no such thing as specialized fishing lines. You know, so especially you know, if you done made it to the top of the river and you're trying to find a sea goddess, rest assured that all of the women that you're gonna meet in that high value type of you know, circle, you know, school or whatever, you know, because we know that women roam in packs just like fishes roam in school, you know, schools of fish. So you can bet your bottom dollar that these beautiful women have heard all these lines, all these unoriginal lines, you know, manufactured lines before, you know. And then we know that the game, the game is the bait. The game is the bait. You know, the game is the bait. We know that when we kill something in the wild, it's called game. You know, anything you get in the wild is fair game. Like all of this goes in with this. You know, and this is, and like I said, you know, this way right here is very slow. It's real slow, because you can only catch one fish at a time with your rod. No matter how big your rod is, you can only catch one fish at a time. And then, you know, depending on where you're at, a lot of times, and then too, it's a lot of manipulation. You know, in this way of dating and in this way of sex and dating, it's a lot of manipulation. You know, because a lot of the times the bait don't even be real. The bait don't even be a real fish or a real worm or whatever. You know, it's that little fake thing that you get at Walmart or Bass Pro Shop or something like that, and you gotta kind of rub it up. You gotta kind of rub it back and forth against the water to make it look like it's a real fish, but it's really not. You know, I'm gonna get to that. Don't worry, I'm gonna get to that right now. I'm just doing a recap because that last stream, the audio was messed up and a lot of people couldn't hear it. But I'm gonna get to that. So, you know, that's the slow way. You gotta do a lot of manipulation. You know, sometimes you gotta get up early in the morning. You know, you gotta do a lot of cold approaching a lot of times. And either way, it hurts the fish. You know, whether you decide to let the fish go back into the ocean or back into the sea or back into the lake, it hurts the fish either way, because that hook is sharp. That hook is real sharp. And you know, that, hold on. Okay, cool. Yeah, so that hook is real sharp. You know, so that fish gonna bleed either way, whether you keep it or whether you put it back in the water. And when you put that fish back in the water, and it's bleeding from that hook, you know, it's gonna draw sharks, and the shark gonna eat it. So what does that mean in dating, in sex and stuff like that? You know, you might end up deciding that, you know, this isn't the woman that you wanna be with after you did all this stuff, you know. And whether you do it a nice way or whether you do it a hard way, you know, a nice way or a mean way, it's still gonna hurt the woman, you know, especially if she done spent all this time on your boat, on your deck. She done spent all this time on your boat, on your deck, and you know, you done looked her over, you done did all this stuff, and now you want to throw her, throw the fish back out into the ocean or whatever. You know, you want to throw her back out to the wolves, and she got all this trauma and all of this stuff, and then she end up meeting a nigga who really ain't shit, and he gonna take advantage of her because he see that she's low self-esteem, you know. So then you got way number 2 of fishing, which is deep sea diving, and I talked about that. Now, deep sea diving is kind of something that's that started, I would say, around the early 2000s, you know, up until now. You know, this is a lot more expensive because you got to buy the diving equipment, you got to buy all of this extra stuff, you got to buy either a snorkel or a gas powered you know, air tank and all of this stuff in order for you to go deep sea diving. And then you got a net, so you're deep sea diving in a net with a rubber suit on, you know, and you think that you're protected, but you're really not, because when you go deep sea diving, now you're in her territory. You know, now you're in the territory of the sea. You're at the mercy of the sea. You know, you know, when it comes to dating and sex, you know, this is you trying to get into her feelings. It's you trying to understand her feelings and understand her emotions, and you know, do all of that kind of stuff. You know, all the things that a woman would tell you, you know, all the things that a woman would tell you that she likes, and then you try to be all of that times 50. You know, thinking that that's going to you know, thinking that's going to get her to get on the boat with you, you know. And I talked about how you know, it's a lot more expensive. You know, this is you trying to use money, you know, this is online dating, all of that, you know, all of that goes into that. And you know, it's still very hard for you to find a genuine relationship off of that. You know, now I'm not gonna sit up here and say that it's impossible, because you can catch a lot of fish on way 1 or way 2, but the way 3, and this is what we're gonna talk about, pick up on today. So way 3, you know, it's so crazy that a lot of y'all never heard of it. A lot of y'all might not have never heard of it, and a lot of y'all might have seen this and probably thought it was fake, you know. And this is the way that strips everything that you thought that sex was, and it strips it all away. And this is the reason why, you know, this way right here, you know, this is the hidden way. But it's not only is it the most safest, not only is it the safest way to do this, it's also therapeutic for the fish. You're not hurting the fish. You know, when you got to take them out the water and all of that stuff, you know, aka when you get to know a woman like this, when you get to know a woman in this type of way, it's easier, even if y'all decide to go separate ways. If you date a woman and have sex with a woman, be able to connect with her in this type of way, you know, she'll be able to leave your relationship and find someone else. You know, at least that's how it used to be. You know, in this day and time now, if you learn this right here, and you, with great power comes great responsibility, you know, you'll have women literally trying to, beat your door down simply because you may be the only one that can make her feel like this in this type of way. You know, this is a power that all women have. They can do this on themselves without having to touch themselves. This is a power that that us as men, this is a power that we need to know about. Because it's deeper than just sex with this. This is therapy. This is shadow work, but it's also extremely pleasurable as well. And it pretty much nullifies and avoids all the things that these women say that they need in order for them to have an orgasm. Oh, he gotta be tall. He gotta be 6 feet tall. He gotta have muscles. He gotta have a 12. He gotta have a $5 foot long. In order to, money make me come. That's what women say now. That's what women say now. Money make me come. Until you meet Shiva. Until you meet Shiva, and Shiva, you mess around. You didn't met Shiva, and Shiva got you on this. Shiva got you like this. Hold on. I gotta show it. I gotta show it. Hold on. This how Shiva got you. And we're gonna pick up right here. Oh dog, that's the wrong one. Yeah. This right here.
You gotta put a stop stick on it. Stop. Keep it going.
Wait, can y'all hear that? Can y'all hear that? No, Shiva, Shiva. Could y'all hear that? Let me try to do it again. Let me dial back a little bit. Let me play it. See, can I? Okay.
We just keep going, what I'm saying? You gotta put a stop stick on it. Stop. Keep it going.
Y'all can't hear that? Y'all can't hear that? Could y'all hear that? Let me know. Let me know in the chat if y'all was able to hear that. Let me take it back.
She can't keep going. She get ready to drop the bat about now, and it just.
Could y'all hear that? Let me know. Put a yes or a no in the chat if y'all could hear that. Could y'all hear that? Let me wait a minute before I keep going. Let me know. Could y'all hear that? When I just played it? It's faint, but I've seen the video before. Dude was dope. Okay, yeah. Okay. So y'all could hear this kind of faint. That's good. That's good actually. So check this out. Check this out, ladies. 1. Ladies, when the last time you felt that? When the last time you felt that, ladies? Ladies, talk to me, ladies. When the last time you had an orgasm so crazy you fell out and your wig fell off? Talk to me now. Talk to me. She gone. She in the astral plane. She gone. It's over. She in the astral plane. She snoring. She sleep.
And she is snowing.
Ladies, when the last time y'all had that where you just sleep? You just slump. You just slumped out.
Matt, come here. Eyes are open on 3, forgetting being hypnotized.
She gone.
Wondering what the hell you doing. You just sit back in that
She
chair.
gone.
No longer having an orgasm or orgasmic feelings when I tell
Hold on. Hold on. Let me cause it's still playing on my end. Okay. All right. Where my ladies at? Where my ladies who want to be honest? When the last time you had something like that? You know? When the last time y'all had somebody to you know, you you came so hard, you done came so hard, your wig done fell off. She said, "What's the name of that vid?" You know, how many women you would be way more happier. You would be way more happier in your relationship if your man could do this to you. You know. Now, what if I told you? What if I told you what he did to make her have that multiple orgasm? What he did to make her have that multiple orgasm? He didn't touch her private parts at all. He didn't have to touch her private part at all. You know, he's a short stubby man. You know, he got some weight on him. He don't. Well, he do got a lot of money. I mean, ain't no sit up here and say he ain't got no money. But you know, he didn't pull out no money and make her do that. You know, it didn't have nothing to do with no private parts. It didn't have nothing to do with status or anything. It was all about knowledge. It was all about knowledge. So now, ladies, since we know that orgasm is life, you know, orgasm is the most potent manifestation. The orgasm, it when you have that orgasm, you feel like you've arrived. Women, ladies, talk to me. When the last time you've actually arrived? You actually felt like you've arrived. You know? Because I might be bugging. You know, y'all ladies, y'all might have some stellar sex lives where your man can stimulate you so much that you done orgasmed on yourself and y'all ain't even had sex. Y'all ain't even did that yet. You know? See, this is the reason why it's hard for people to be celibate. This is the reason why it's hard for you to say no sex until marriage, because you don't know this. You don't know this information. You know. Now, if you had a girl and you found you a goddess at the lake, and you like, look, you know, I don't want to have sex with you until we get to the ocean, but you can make her feel like that. You know, she would be a whole lot more you know, she will be a whole lot more accepting to do that with you, as long as you can make her feel like that. Because at the end of the day, when we chop it all down, when we take everything away, this is the goal of sex. This is the reason why we have it. You know, this is the reason why we manifest. This is the reason why we do this. And I just had to show y'all that video again as a reminder, ladies. You know, when you're at this state, when you're at that state that you saw that girl, that lady in, you're at your most powerful. You're at your most passionate. You're at your most highest. You're at your most creative. You're at your most manifesting state. You know, when you're at that. And you know, let's be honest. Women can stay in that orgasmic state a whole lot longer than men can. You know? So you talking about, you know, these ladies be talking about, oh, I can't be with no man that's not making the same type of money I make or whatever. When at the end of the day, and this is something that I can prove beyond the shadow of a doubt, because I've done this before with women that I was dating, women that I was with. I've done this before, you know and right at the peak of the orgasm, while she's still in la la land, she's up there with God. She's up there, when she slumped like that, and she sleep, she damn near sleep, her eyes done roll back. She's in the plane that you need to be in, where you can manifest at the fastest rate, you know but again, this is information that y'all aren't taught. You're taught, when you're doing this, you're taught to, quote unquote, talk dirty to her. You over here talking dirty to these women. Yeah, I'm gonna beat that shit up. Yeah, call me daddy. Yeah, how they feel like, you know, it's your, is mine, say it's mine. Bullshit like that, when at the end of the day, when she's in that zone like that, like what you saw her in, this is when you're supposed to be petitioning all the shit that you're trying to manifest. While she's in that state, it's like she's like the telephone. She's like the telephone, and you're on the receiving end, and she's connected to source. When you're in that orgasmic state, like that phoenix off of Rick and Morty, there's nothing that you can't do. There's nothing that you can't manifest when you're in that state. It's just that when y'all, number one, a lot of our women, I gotta say, a lot of our women, they can't regularly reach that state where they can command the universe to bring them what they need. So they've been programmed and taught that the only way that you can manifest is through money, and that was never how y'all that's never how y'all operated. Women never operated on that. It was always that connection that y'all have to Olokun. Let's talk about Olokun. Olokun holds all the unknown treasures, all the impossible, all the treasures underneath the sea. You know, um, and in that realm, when we talk about treasure and we talk about boats and stuff like that, we call that booty. We call that booty. You know, so it makes sense. And this is remember, I got this transmission from James Brown many years ago. And James Brown, he was like, you know why black men like women with a fat ass? And I was like, why? He was like, because that's how women was created. This deep esoteric knowledge is no pun intended. you know James, he was like, he said the reason why men inherently love, especially black women, black women with a nice round fat ass, is because we know spiritually, that's where a woman's soul is housed at. So you can learn a lot about the true disposition of a woman by how her ass is shaped. If it's nice and plump and round, versus if it's not. James was like, either she got a lot of soul or she full of shit. you know that's what that means. So since this is something that spiritually we naturally gravitate to. Since we naturally gravitate to this, now you see why this was something that, number one, was exploited. This was something that's been exploited by the white media and stuff like that, from ever since the 1800s with Sarah Bartman. They've never seen a woman so curvy and voluptuous like that. And they've been doing this video vixen, exposing, they've been doing this since the beginning, um and it's a lot deeper than, again, it's a lot deeper than the body, even though the body tells you a lot. So a lot of, again, like I said in my I think it was like the second or third video, when I was talking about, a lot of y'all, a lot of men, a lot of us men, we have to be honest with what our boat can handle. You trying to, just because you can catch a mermaid with a big treasure, with a big booty. You got to make sure that when she hop on your boat don't snap. You got to make sure that your boat is sturdy enough to handle that. And if you can, she's gonna be if you can, and you know how to, how to deal with that, then she's gonna be a great treasure to you. And the reason why I'm saying this is because, a lot of the older women, like a lot of the women that was popping back in the 60s, back in the 70s and stuff like that, especially some of the stump down hoes, some of the old video models and stuff like that, the ones that were able to get out the game, and do what they were supposed to do. A lot of these women, not only are they still look beautiful to this day, a lot of them have very pleasant attitudes. A lot of these women are kept. They don't have to worry about nothing. They've been able to get out the game and have families and get married and all of this. And the main thing that I wish these women were able to talk to the younger women and give them the game. That's the main thing. So what you just saw with that video is a example of electrofishing. So what electrofishing is, it's a specialized boat, meaning that this information is best that you knew it when you were younger, because you have to start out. You gotta start out on a journey in order for you to get to the point where you can do this type of stuff at will. And in this electro boat, it's like a small pole. It's like a two-person boat. It's a small pole that you put in the water, and it shoots a jolt of electricity into the water. And when this little pole of electricity gets into the water, it sends out a pulse, and it shocks all the fish. It stuns them. It don't kill them, but it stuns all the fish. So you got all of these fish that's just plopping up on the boat. They jumping, they dancing, they jumping on the boat. And all you got to do is just scoop them up. And usually, when you see electro fishermen and stuff like that, number one, they're highly trained. They have to go through a lot of training. They got to go through a lot of schooling and stuff like that, so they can properly know how to do this. So this ain't just no fly by night thing that you just gonna pick up and do. You gotta get schooled in this. And what they do, they take the fish. They might take some of the scales off, and take them to a lab so they can study the scales of the fish and make sure that they're healthy and stuff like that. And then they send them back into the water, and then they got so much of an abundance of the fish. If they do decide to take some, they got plenty of fish to go around. Now, what does this mean when we're talking about on a on a relationship type of level? This is you as a man, going through the bonus stages in your shadow work journey, and you're at the bonus stages where now you're able to help other people, and you learn, you learn these Shiva like abilities. As a divine masculine man, you learn the Shiva like abilities of Tantra. You learn these Shiva like abilities of the things that goes into hypnosis, the things that goes into inductions and stuff like that. So you getting with these women, you're getting with these women, and even though it's a date and stuff like that, since you have these different skills that no other guy that she's with is gonna have, you're asking her questions, you're asking her certain things, you're asking her different questions about herself that no other guy is asking, so she's already intrigued, you know. And then, when y'all get to that point where you want to get intimate, you're not doing what all the other guys are doing. You're doing your tantra stuff. You're doing things to her to where it's not just sex no more. This is a therapeutic healing session. This is a therapeutic healing session. That type of session to where um when she gets finished, when it's all said and done, it's like a you know and even if y'all decide to go y'all separate ways, this is one of those things to where you want to see in the hood, we have this saying to where when we get through having sex with a girl and it's time for her to leave, you don't want her to be able to walk out the same way she came in. You want her to have a little bow-legged. You want her to have a little limp in her step. and so when she walk around her friends and stuff like that, and her friends like, damn girl, why you walking like that? You must got you some good. And she like, yeah girl, he had me on the ceiling, he had me doing this, he had me doing that. So even if y'all don't work out, now all her friends is looking at you like, damn, I don't see that every day. Now this is cool in the hood, but this is also very toxic. Definitely getting to where I'm able to help others in their journey. I'm becoming that magician. Yes, that's what it's about. That's what it's about. And this leads to being toxic. Now, with what I'm talking about, with great power comes great responsibility. So don't kill me in the chat. But what I'm talking about, this right here, this is more than just sex. This is therapeutic. This is healing. While you're doing this exercise with her and you're opening up her mind and you're doing all of this stuff, instead of you whispering to her, I'm gonna beat this pussy up, I'm gonna knock that out. Instead of you doing bullshit like that, elementary child shit like that, you're whispering into her ear, reminding her of the goddess that she is, reminding her of how powerful she is, how naturally sensual she is, and all of these different things, filling her head and filling her mind with all of this, powerful stuff, and when it comes to that, not only is this empowering her and she's gonna walk away feeling so empowered, this is gonna intensify the experience for you even more, because now she's feeling powerful, she's feeling, she's remembering who she is, and now the experience has intensified for you. A lot of y'all begin with these women and you really think you done got something. You really think you done rocked her world until she get with Shiva. And that woman done got with Shiva, and Shiva, not only have Shiva gotten a bigger orgasm, a way better experience, because she was actually, had this in love type of feeling with him, but also he was able to take some of that abundance of energy that she's putting out, and he's able to manifest. Whatever he needs to manifest with that energy, because you know and this is something that I can truly say myself. um helping women, I hate to say it, but a lot of times helping women goes a lot further than helping men out, you know um because a lot of time a lot of times you'll help a man out. Hold on, let me show that. A lot of times you'll help a man out, and he's gone on his journey. He be done forgot about you. He be done uh uh you know he be done forgot about you. But when it comes to women, and this is something that I can say for sure, because most of my journey while doing these readings have been me, um you know not only helping women out, but showing them the goddess that they really are on the inside. Something that most guys aren't gonna care about when they get with a chick. Because they feel like all bitches ain't shit. you know that's what they feel. A lot of why I've been able to survive as long as I have, in Miami, has been because of these women that I've helped, pouring back into me. you know and I haven't, been sexually involved with any of these women. Some of these women, I've never even seen them in person before, and they just randomly, give me a donation and help me out because of something that I've helped them to realize about themselves, 2 years ago. You know, the water has memory, just like women. Not only do they have, memory, mental memory, which fades away a lot faster, but their emotions hold a lot of memory. This is why when it comes to women, when it comes to y'all ladies, seeing a Shiva regularly, seeing someone that has these Shiva abilities, and they want to help you, seeing someone like that regularly, is gonna help you to be so much better. So much of a better wife, so much of a better mother, so much of a better, person, because you can't if you're in a relationship. And I'm not telling you to be unfaithful, because like what I just showed you, it had nothing to do with nobody touching you. It had nothing to do with nobody invading your private space, or none of that. you know but you can't fault if you got with a guy, and he's a provider. He takes care of the bills, he takes care of the kids, but you have a lot of pent up sexual energy. You got a lot of pent up energy that's hardening, that's making you masculine. you know because your man may not know how to satisfy that appetite. It's nothing wrong with you, regularly seeing a Shiva that knows these tools, and can help you to release that energy, help you to release all of that. Because this and other things alone, a lot of times this alone is what breaks up marriages, relationships. This is what's making a lot of these women die when they're not supposed to. This is what's making them do a lot of these crimes of passion that you've been seeing. I'm at the point now with my inner child where I can look at a woman and tell if she, and tell if she's having a healthy sex life. You know, I can tell. Because I know too many of the triggers, and every day that I'm learning more about this information, it helps me to learn more triggers and stuff like that. And like I said, like me, I'm the type of person that genuinely wants to help. I know if I can reach the goddesses, if I can help the goddesses and put them back on point, they're gonna raise better children. They're gonna be a lot more open. So if other guys like me that are unseen. We're not tall. We're not rappers. We don't got a whole lot of money and all of that type of stuff. Y'all would notice us a lot more frequently and give us a chance, and we'll show you why we're the diamonds in the rough. Let me see what you're saying. About tantra. That's what I'm into. Yeah, I know all about that. It's a lot of stuff I know about. you know um but when it comes to this system of soulless beings, they really fix it to where it's hard for you to outwardly say certain things out loud. You gotta have certain licenses to practice this now. You got to have certain certifications and all of that type of stuff. It's always like that with the stuff that you're supposed to be learning how to do. And then what I hate about it the most, and I can't be mad about it, is that the few people out here that know this information and they can teach it, their prices are extremely high. The guy that you seen in that video, I've talked to him personally, and his prices are high as hell. And I thought his prices was high until I ran across this other guy who's extremely good at it, and his course is like $2,000. His course is like $2,000 or $3,000, and I'm like, God damn, like, like I gotta pay all of this money just for this kind of knowledge. Like I gotta pay all this money, and it can be very discouraging. It can be very, very discouraging, so you're able to use this shock method, and find you're able to use this shock method while you're in the river, searching for your mermaid sea goddess. What you're doing, you're using your charisma. You're using your natural aura. Instead of you putting your fishing rod into the river, you're sticking your hand in the river. And when you stick your hand in the river, your aura, it just permeates, and all the sea goddesses can feel that energy. When a real boss walk into a room, the first people that turn their head is the women, because they feel that energy. It's all in the books. People don't want to research, and a lot of those books are out of print. I was able to get a couple on PDF, in unconventional ways, but at the end of the day, this is the talking that you're supposed to be doing, to a woman. Instead of you talking about, yeah, I'm gonna beat that pussy up, baby. Yeah, whose is it, baby? That movie shit. And then she tell you it's yours, and then you go fuck around and cheat on her and all of that stuff after she done told you it's yours. Imagine that knowledge in the wrong hands. And so this is a sidebar. Because I started watching the other guy that I was saying, and watching him do it on TikTok. And when I tell you, one thing that this taught me, there's some really, really evil-minded bastards in this freaking world, dog. Like the comments that I was hearing, from these TikTokers talking about, yeah, I'm gonna do this to rob somebody, I'm gonna do this, like, bro, some of the comments that I've heard, that I've seen on these videos, not the it's fake, it's fake, it's not real, not those comments, but comments of people saying what they would do if they knew this. It sickened me to my stomach. It really did. It sickened me to my stomach. And what sickens me to my stomach even more is that everything that I'm researching is what's in the music, to make you want to listen to this whack ass music that got these demonic entities in the music, because if it didn't have these elements in it, you wouldn't naturally want to listen to it, you know. And the demonic entities that control the music industry, they can't get no more energy off of you, you know. So this is stuff that you know, that the music industry, that Hollywood already do this to you, you know. All the If you came up in Gen Z, you know, if you came up during the information age, you are already prone to hypnosis. I'm gonna say it like that. You know, if you got a phone and you be looking at your phone at night, scrolling through your phone, and then all of a sudden your eyes cross, congratulations, for that split second you were in hypnosis. And if somebody got behind you and tapped the back of your head and snapped and told you to go to sleep, you know what? I'm gonna get off this subject. I'm talking too much. I'm talking too much. Ah. All right. So, so the key is, so the key here is, I'm gonna talk like Bobby Hemmett. So the key here is that evil is good. Y'all all right? Y'all all right? Y'all all right? How y'all doing? Y'all all right? Make sure the ladies got a place to sit. All y'all fellas need to get up and let these ladies sit down. You know, it's messed up that I gotta say this in 1998. But y'all fellas get up. Y'all fellas get up and get these ladies. See, Charlotte, I know where I'm at. I know where I'm at, and I know, you know, I know how things can get misconstrued. That's why I was kind of reluctant to show that video, but I had to, so I can drive that point. You know, I try to tell people all the time, is these people know? Yeah, they know it, and they use it to your detriment. But if you try to learn how to do it and use it the right way, you got to have a license. You know, you got to go to school. You got to go to their school, get indoctrinated by their tests and their exams, and then you got to go to their school, get their degree, get their certification, get their business license, and you got to go through all of this shit before you can help people. And then you're monitored. And then once you go through their system, you're monitored. You know, so you still can't hardly do it the way you want to, the way you need to do it. You know, so this is the reason why these folks be online. That's the reason why these folks be online with these $2,000, $3,000 courses. You know, talking about if you want to learn this, you got to buy my $4,000 course. You know, or like my homeboy, you got to fly me out. You got to pay for my hotel, pay for my stay, and you got to pay my fee for me to teach you this. You know, so it's hard. It's hard for the baby SU to learn what he really needs to know. So that's why going within is so important, because it's hard for you to get this shit on the outside. You know. Now, so you're using your aura, because Nathan wants to know about the sea goddess. So you're using your aura, and you're shocking the water. You're emotionally shocking. You know, you're taking each sea goddess out one by one. You're studying them. You're examining them. You know, you're helping them out. You know, and then if this sea goddess isn't what you need, you can safely place her back into the water. You know, until you find the right sea goddess, and y'all share the same energy. That's what it's about. You find you a sea goddess, and you and this sea goddess, her yin is your yang, and her yang is your yin. You know, that's the type of sea goddess that you need, because at the end of the day, That's the only way that true trust, a true bond, a true trust can happen. The IO has to be different. Your IO, input output, and her IO, input output, has to be opposite, because those are the opposites that attract. You know, it has to be like that, because at the end of the day, like I said, she's gonna spend a lot of her time. She's gonna spend a lot of her time. Um, she's gonna spend a lot of her time outside the boat. She's gonna spend a lot of her time outside the boat. Because she still has to be in the ocean. She still got to be in the ocean, so she can let you know through intuition when certain things are about to approach. So you can make sure that you don't hit no icebergs, and you don't get into no shark infested waters and stuff like that. you know so this is why it's so important. See, when it comes to us, we're taught, when we build relationships and stuff like that, we're taught that you and the sea goddess has to be on the boat together. you know and that's not the case. That's not how it works. Because if both of y'all are on the same boat, if both of y'all are on the boat together, then who's gonna be underwater, making sure that everything inside the ocean is the way it's supposed to be. you know that's not gonna work. So it was always built where the women stayed in their emotional comfort zone. you know they stayed in their emotional comfort zone, in the water. And there's a soul bond. There's a soul bond between the man and the woman. So even if the man gotta travel to Chicago and find work and stuff like that, you know and he can trust that his wife that he left at home is not gonna do anything crazy while he's gone, because they got a bond. That bond is deep. you know so you end up, let's say you end up finding a sea goddess. And when you're taking this sea goddess out the water, and you're learning about her, and she's extremely beautiful. She has a lot of treasure. She got a lot of booty. She got a lot of treasure and stuff like that. you know but you're taking this sea goddess out the water, and you're having this conversation with her, because you got to learn what's her story. See, a lot of us, we don't care about this. A lot of us, we don't care about this as men. We don't care about what's her story. That's what the real date is. What's your story? How did you get to the river? And where are you trying to go? you know Ladies, talk to me, ladies. When is the last time you went on a date with a guy and he asked you, so what's your story? What's your story, baby? What brings you out here? you know and what is your goal? Like, what is it that you're trying to do? you know because at the end of the day, you might find a sea goddess in the river, and y'all may be able to y'all might have matching energies. But this particular sea goddess, she may have a obligation to her family that she needs to do. And sometimes a woman can be so in love. Sometimes a woman can be so in love, they can forget about their obligations when they're in love. But there always comes a time, like that Earth, Wind and Fire, after the love is gone. There's a point in time where that sea goddess is gonna remember the agreement, the soul agreement that she made. And she's gonna end up yearning to be back in that river, the river that you done already left from many years ago. AKA, if she meant for the streets, You gotta send her back to the streets. You gotta leave her in the streets. You know, and if you didn't put too much of your aya into this boat, and you done centered this boat around her, and you're not paying attention about this, this can lead to a lot of emotional hurt. It can lead you to make some real bad decisions, and you wonder why after a couple years of y'all being together, she just got this yearning for the streets. Because there's some unfinished business that she didn't do, and she didn't want to make you sad. Like, y'all did have a connection, so instead of her being honest, and she just went ahead and went with it. She went with the relationship. She went with you on the relationship. She went with the mirage, the marriage, the mirage. Until reality hit. And like that song say, reality hits you hard, bro. Reality hits you hard, bro. And you better hope, that you did your due diligence to make sure that when you start turning your boat into a ship, you better make sure that you and your sea goddess are both on the same page. You got to make sure that y'all are both on the same page. And this is the big one right here. This is the big one. And you got to be very patient. You got to be very patient when you're in this search. You got to be very patient. You got to be very knowledgeable. And the only way that you can be knowledgeable during this time, you gotta follow the second verse of "I Believe I Can Fly." When R. Kelly said, what he said, see, I was on the verge of breaking down. I thought this particular sea goddess was gonna be the one, but I found out her story, and at the end of the day, she has a bigger obligation in the sea, and she can't go with me. And not every woman is going to be honest with you about that. So sometimes she might just give you the silent treatment, and hope that you can be the one to break up with her, so she won't have to do it. Y'all ladies know the games y'all be playing sometimes. So sometimes the silence can seem so loud. But there are miracles in life I must achieve. This is what's going to keep you going forward. There are miracles in life that I must achieve. But first, I know it starts inside of me. So this is what can keep you going. Even though the sea goddess, she talking about, "Ooh, baby, I love your stroke, because you can get me where I'm going." And out of all the men in boats who came by the river, "'Cause surely you get my vote, 'cause I believe you know just what you're doing. I believe that you know what you're doing." How many men or guys, how many women have said that to you? Like, "Yo, like, you get me where I'm going. I love your stroke. I believe you get my vote. I believe you know just what you're doing." And it's not this is not women's fault. I'm gonna say this isn't necessarily women's fault, but sometimes things can be so in that mirage, things can look so hunky dory, that she might encourage you to coast. "Baby, now we can coast. Let's not get in a hurry." And then when you start coasting too much, and you start being too predictable, then she said, "Oh no, no, that's too slow. That's too slow. Let's put that thing in overdrive, and let's just pray. Let's just pray that you can do that." You know. So when we so when we're trying to figure out when we're trying to figure out the sea goddess that we need to be with, that's gonna help us in the ocean. When we're looking for that loan officer, that stockbroker, when we're looking for that partner, though, when we're looking for our business partner that can get us into the big leagues, we've already got our stuff taken care of with the business. It's serviceable. We've scaled it. We've done all the things on our end. Now we're looking for a business partner that's gonna invest the same thing in us that we invested in our business. you know and this business partner is gonna take us to the big leagues, and this business partner is used to dealing with business like what I got. So now I'm bringing it into business. you know and no business can do it alone. You need some heavy hitters, and then you need a lot of other people. I ain't trying to tell on myself. You need multiple people in order, especially if you're trying to scale this business out. You can't do all this on your own. A woman, um, a woman, a lot of times can't do all of this on her own. But at the end of the day, is you got to be honest from the jump. If you're the type of person where you need a woman on the boat, and then you also need one woman on the left side at the bottom of the boat, and then you need another woman on the right side at the bottom of the boat to make sure that the whole boat is secure. You need to let your sea goddess know that, because she might know some people. She might know some other sea goddesses who's her sisters, and she might not mind. She like, yo, I got some sea goddess friends that I can bring along, and she can be on this side, she can be on that side, and I can be on top, and then she can be on the bottom. This is something that women can do this very, very quickly. She knows, if she's into your plan, she's following your plan, and you're explaining this to her. you know when you're talking about credit, because in this sense, women represent credit. You can have a bunch of credit cards on your account that you never spend, but just those good balances on those credit cards being in your account like that, it shows that you have good history. you know so that's why, not every woman that you come across that want to be with your program, not every woman that you have to physically have sex with. But if you're Shiva, then you can give her an orgasm without touching her, without taking your clothes off. If an orgasm is what you want, baby, I can get it to you. Just let me whisper these positive, high vibrational Aya messages in your ear, and I'm gonna let you take your own self on this journey. You know, I'm gonna let you do all the work, and all I'm gonna do is be the pilot, and I'm gonna guide you. I'm gonna guide you to your own bliss. You know, and you can do that to most of the women you with, and then you might have that one where you're actually having physical sex with her, but all the rest of them is cool. Like, they straight. you know Again, this is higher knowledge. This ain't, when you be seeing these Hindu men and stuff like that, and they got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 wives. Do you think that he's over here having physical sex with all of these wives, or do he know this information and this is what he doing to some of them? And then he have certain days where he go and he might have physical sex, but they ain't tripping, because they can touch the hem of his garment like Jesus and get the same orgasm. You know what? Let me get off of this. Let me get off of this. Okay. So, honesty. honesty is very important because when we're talking about being on the same page, when we're talking about being on the same page, this deals with communication. All the things that we say is wrong with marriage today. Lack of communication, lack of honesty, all of these type of things. But see, the reason why you're filling her out and you're asking her for her story and all of these type of things, you're doing this in an intimate way. You know, um, you're doing these things so that you can see what page is she on. Like, what page are you on? What page are you on? And you got to be honest that at the end of the day, I can work with you. You might have some things going on with you, but not only do you want to go all the way with me, but we can make this work because we're on the same page. We can be on the same page together. Now, what is a page? Um, Pages are messengers to our decks. you know, just make sure that this is your mental deck, mental deck. The pineal gland. You know, this is what pages mean in tarot. Pages are messengers, so much that some versions actually paint them as heralds. You know, heralds. Herald is a type of newspaper. You know, herald. A herald is a person that's viewed as a sign that something is about to happen. You know, so it's very important. It's very important that you have a sea goddess, a woman that is on the same page with you, because she can be your notification to let you know if your manifestations are going through or not. There was so many times where me and my ex was practicing this, and I would be discouraged about my manifestation, and she'll be like, "Yo, I had a dream last night that you had this and you was doing this and you was doing that." And I'm like, "Okay, cool. If she having a dream about it, then that means it's on the way." You know, instead of the modern relationships today, where instead of her having a dream about your manifestation, because that's what you was whispering into her ear, instead she having a dream that you're cheating on her with another girl, because you had her talking about this pussy is yours. you know so we got to grow up. We got to grow up. you know if we want to blow up. If we want to blow up, we got to grow up. you know um so these pages serve as royal figures in a more or less passive way. The pages of tarot have little power but are highly influenced by the cards around them. So when you get on the same page with your woman, you got a goddess, and y'all can get on the same page, all that outside shit, it gotta go. You know, this is the reason why when you get married, you take your husband's last name. All of this shit is spiritual. It's all spiritual, but since y'all haven't been taught that this is spiritual, y'all are looking at the physical part of it. That it's the government. That this ain't, all the physical stuff, but y'all got to realize this is spiritual. When you've made it up in your mind that you and your goddess can get on the same page, this is the reason why that y'all gotta be one flesh. Y'all gotta be as one. This is the reason why you know when you're married as a woman, you gotta let all them guy friends go. When you're in a serious ship and y'all are having relations, y'all having a serious relationship, all them guy friends gotta go, because the pages are highly influenced by the cards around them. you know so being on the same page, this is an ongoing journey, but if y'all are able to do this properly, you know you'll be unstoppable. You'll be an unstoppable business, an unstoppable couple, an unstoppable manifester, because all of this comes in together. you know, but still they carry the essence of their suit and they act as the bearers of important news, very important, you know. So this is why in relationships you got to keep the communication you got to keep the communication positive. You got to, no matter how hard this can be sometimes, you know you always have to keep the communication flowing, you know even though, as a guy, our women be telling us stuff sometimes that we don't want to hear about. Women be like, oh, what's up, IFE. Sometimes women can be like, yo, I got this mole on my left ass cheek. I got this mole on my left ass cheek, and I don't really like it. I'm starting to feel bad about myself because I got this mole right here. And you know, and you as a guy, you playing the game, you're like, man, why is she coming to me with this shit? You know? But at the end of the day, this is how it is when a woman is truly open with you and she just want to tell you everything that's going on. You know? And the biggest way that you can start closing up the communication is just shrugging it off. Because the more you shrug it off, she gonna remember that. And then something big is gonna happen and she not gonna tell you, and you be like, damn, like, why you ain't tell me? Like, well, shit, you know you wasn't studying the mole I had on my ass cheek. So why am I gonna tell you that that the rent people came by and they said that you know for this month rent is gonna be a week early. Some women are like that. you know so so there's different types of pages. The bright side of these pages is youth, potential, news, growth, excitement, and hope. These are all the things that can keep you floating as a woman, floating, you know, and as a man, this can always keep you in the belief that you can fly. Because sometimes you gotta fly. Sometimes your woman can be so deep into her emotions, you just gotta hold her hand and fly up in the air, so you can get her back to the surface. So she can see the error in her ways, so she can see that it ain't that crucial. Depending on the type of woman you got, the type of sea goddess you got. So as a man, um you can never lose your ignition. You can never lose your belief that you can fly. And even sometimes where she might yank your arm down, you got to step in the name of love. You got to step in the name of love and understand that at the end of the day, this is just who she is. Like, this is just her element. She has to stay in this element in order for to keep me away from sharks. you know I had to learn this the hard way in my relationship. Yeah, you know you never supposed to tell a woman that her emotions are bad, you know because a woman that's in her headspace all the time is of no use to you as a man. you know we can handle the sky. We can handle the clouds and the stormy clouds, and we can handle the sky. I need you in the sea. I need you in the sea to let me know if Yemoya is angry at Oya, and she's about to cause a rumble in the sea, and Oya about to start a hurricane in the sea, and you need to tell me as a man, yo babe, you need to turn this boat all the way around because it's some stuff going on in the ocean, and there's about to be a big ass tsunami, and we all finna die. you know that's what I need from you as a woman, as a sea goddess. I don't need you to be on the boat with me. There's going to be some times where we can be on the boat together and all of that type of stuff. you know But most of your life, most of your life is going to be spent, um, staying in the water. I just gotta trust that I don't, I just gotta trust that you're not just gonna swim away from me. That's why the soul bond. That's why the soul bond is so important. You know, a lot of these women are so messed up because of the trauma and stuff like that. It's hard for them to have a soul bond with anybody. So you drop her in the water and she's supposed to be your navigation system, and you looking around, you're like, okay, I'm not hearing nothing. I'm not hearing nothing. And now instead of you looking ahead, you're looking down at the water, like, yo, where you at? Where you at? You know? And this is the negative side. If you're with a woman and you're not on the same page, this can lead to immaturity. You know, either her calling you immature or you calling her immature, because one of y'all is in y'all inner child and the other person don't, the other person is so far disconnected from their inner child, they look at all of that as immaturity. You're speaking big facts on this one, little bro. Yo, I got to, because I'm trying to make this my last one. So I got to spit all the facts. I got an hour left. So what is the other dark side? What is the other dark side of not being on the same page with your sea goddess? What's the other side of not being on the same page with your manifestation? What's the other side of not being on the same page with your business partners and stuff like that? You know? So number 2 is lack of commitment. You know, if you're not on the same page with your goddess, there's always going to be a question about commitment. You know, and if you're constantly leaving your boat so you can dive in the water and wrangle back in your goddess, and she's in her deep emotions, you swimming all the way down in the water, you're like, baby, come up, come up, come up, come up, come back to your role, like, yo, I need you. And she's all the way down at the bottom of the sea, and the more time you're spending down there trying to wrangle her back, you're losing your boat. Your boat is on down the sea, and you don't have but so much air. You don't got but so much air before you drown. And she not gonna care if you drown. She not gonna care if you drown. She just gonna swim away. She might swim after your boat and get on that boat. And since she's a sea goddess, she's not gonna truly understand the ins and outs of the boat. So it's gonna be a short term victory in the end. So what does this mean? What does this mean in when we're talking about business? Lack of commitment. You got some shady ass people that's responsible for pivotal parts of your business for it to run. And there's a lack of commitment. Like, you hit them up, sometimes they answer, sometimes they don't, sometimes they got what you need, sometimes they don't. So it's wishy-washy. Your business is starting to be wishy-washy. And people, not everybody that comes to your business is going to be patient, because you're supposed to have your shit together when you got this business and you're in the river, you're in the sea. There's a lot of sharks in the ocean. There's a lot of sharks in the sea. So all of this shit right here, you supposed to got all of these kinks out the way in the lake. All of these kinks out the way in the river. You ain't supposed to be in the sea with these obvious chinks in your armor, obvious chinks in the relationship, obvious chinks in doing bad business. Because if you get a bad reputation in the ocean and in the sea, that's gonna be your ass. You really get high value for real, and your wife, your wife is really for the streets. That's gonna look bad on you. See, we can talk all the crap that we want to about LeBron James. We can talk everything that we want to about LeBron James. But it's one thing that we can't say about LeBron James that we can say about Steph Curry. And Steph Curry is more of a champion than LeBron James. But his wife leaves a stain on his legacy, you know, because she want to be for the streets. You know, I've never heard Savannah James come on a live show talking about, I wish that I got more attention than my husband. You know, what would that look like? You know, so you can say whatever you want to about LeBron, but one thing you can't say, one thing that you gotta give him respect for is that he chose the right woman to have kids with and get married to. You know, now I'm doing this video August 18th, 2022. So, maybe some years down the line, maybe some weeks down the line, that may change. But for now, you can't say nothing bad about LeBron James on a family perspective. All of his kids are being successful, you know, um, you know, and for the most part, Savannah James plays her role, and she don't look at that as a negative, that she has a role to play, and her role is important, and she got to play her role. That's where lack of commitment comes in. Dealing with these uh lost modern women of today, and they don't want to play their role. You tell them like, yo, you gotta, I don't want to keep saying how about you, man. I'm a captain. I'm a captain of a ship, and I need to trust that you're gonna be my navigation system in the ocean. And she arguing with you. How am I gonna trust that you gonna be able to steer this boat right? What if you got some more bitches on that boat? You know, uh, uh, you know, over there constantly climbing on the deck, checking the ship, constantly going through your man phone and trying to find stuff. you know, um, it's a recipe for disaster, and that ship is gonna go nowhere fast. That ship is going nowhere fast. you know and this is what leads to number three. The third dark side of being on the wrong page is weakness, and this is weakness that everybody's going to see. This is weakness that everybody's going to see. The people in the sea men. This is the weakness that the sea men are going to see, and these are the weaknesses that other ships that are passing by you. They look by and they see your ship, and you got a sea goddess, and she got a big booty. She got a big treasure. She got some big treasure. You got some booty. You know, you a captain, and the boat is rocking back and forth, and there's no storm. The boat is rocking back and forth because you and this sea goddess is at odds with each other. But there's a booty, there's a treasure on your boat, and these pirates that's on this on the ships passing by, they're like, oh shit, that's a weakness, we can exploit that. This is where the government came in and was like, if you want to divorce, you got to do this. If you want to get married, you got to do this and you got to do that. It's a weakness. you know um the fourth thing when it comes to not being on the right page is inexperience. All of this can be inexperience. All of this can be taken care of if you properly vet the sea goddess that you bring on your boat. And being honest, like, yo, like, I don't know the Shiva information. I know that that I'm not experienced enough to handle this type of woman, even though she's beautiful, she's banging, she's bad, but she's the type of woman to where I know she's not gonna have any patience. If I need some help, I know she's not gonna be patient. You know, the best thing you can do is let her off, let her out. And just tell her like, yo, like I'm not experienced enough. I'm not experienced enough to handle what you need. You know, and if you do this before any commitment, before any any stuff come about, she'll respect you for that. Like, okay, all right, I respect the fact that you told me this now before things got too crazy and we got kids and we got a family and we got all this stuff, and now you're saying you're inexperienced. You know, you got to be honest. Like I said, honesty is a huge part of this. Honesty, trust. You know, this is a huge part. You know, especially when you're talking about something like this because it's spiritual. So a lot of this, you're not going to be able to pinpoint every single thing, and this is what leads to the last point of not of how things can be when you're not on the same page, and that's uncertainty. You know, uncertainty. You know, that's one of the worst. That's the worst one. That's the worst one. You know, being uncertain. You know, there's always going to be a little uncertainty because when you look out into the open sea, all you see is just water. You know, so anything can happen. You can run out of fuel. You know, you can you gotta make sure that when you get into the ocean and the sea, you gotta make sure that your goddess is on point. You know, when you're a businessman, you gotta make sure that your partner in crime is that person. You gotta make sure that your partner in crime is important. You know, how many stories have we heard about these artists and stuff like that getting fucked out of millions of dollars, and you know they had an accountant that was stealing from them. Ain't that what the Migos went through? You know, they found out that their accountant was stealing millions of royalties from them, and they had to fire their accountant. Like, you know, but the reason why is because they probably didn't go out and find that accountant and vet that accountant themselves. The industry, the label probably gave them that accountant. You know, so this is very important. So I want to talk about some of these pages that you gotta be honest about. That's why I said, you know, all of this starts in the lake. You know, being honest about the boat that you're about to make. You know, so the first page, the first page is the page of wands. The page of wands um, is highly inspired. His level of energy is the highest among the pairs. The page of wands is curious and excited about what is happening next. Always up for a challenge. The page of wands is the messenger of spring, new beginnings, new friendships, and fun times. You know, so if you got a woman and y'all can get on this same page together, you will be a as a man, you will be a powerful manifester. As a woman, you will always be his muse, and you ain't never got to worry about him going nowhere. You know, you will always be inspired. You know, she'll always fill you up with inspiration. You know, at night when y'all sleep, she's whispering, "You're a god," in your ears. You're a god. You can achieve anything. You're so strong. You're a king. Like, you know, some of y'all might think that this is some bullshit, that this will never happen, that can't ain't no woman gonna be this loving to you. But I'm just telling you, you know, this is how we were meant to be in relationships. You know, I got Venus in Cancer, so the way I love is like a grandpa. So I really have to, you know, make sure my heart is protected, because, you know, for me to find a woman that loved like a grandmama, woo, it's crazy. You know, but this is the type of energy to where, you know, you see these old couple and they act like little kids. You know, you see this couple, they're older, but they act like little kids because they were able to get on this same page, the page of wands. You know, they're always up for a challenge, you know, always excited about what's happening next. Now, as a man, to keep this energy going, you know, you got to stay unpredictable. You got to always be, you know, trying to complete a new quest and stuff like that to keep this page going so y'all can stay on the same page. You got to always create challenges around the house. You got to always create challenges, you know, in the relationship, positive challenges, you know, not challenges of, you know, you messing with another woman and it's a challenge to see if she gonna stay with you. Like, nah, I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about challenges where it's like, all right, baby, you know, this is what I'm trying to get right here. And she's like, oh shit, okay, I like that too. Okay. Like, all right, so what are we gonna do so that we can manifest this? You know, I'm gonna have to work some extra hours at the job, and you're gonna have to take up watching the kids a little bit longer and stuff like that, so we can make this happen. And she's like, okay, cool. You know, let's get it. Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to have this new beginning. You know, fun times. You know, so that's the page of wands. You know, um, he does not always know where things are going, but his enthusiasm is contagious. You know, that's another thing about you being on the same page of wands together. You know, not every time, not everything she's gonna know. You know, in her heart of hearts that you're gonna be able to do it, but she trusts you. She believes in you. So she's gonna give you that enthusiasm, even if this means that she might have to sacrifice a little more sometimes. Because it's like, damn, like he really, really want to do this. Like, damn, like I know we probably gonna have to, you know, downsize a little bit. Like I know we probably gonna have to do this, we probably gonna have to do that, but it's like, damn, like I just don't want to dampen his positive energy. Like I'm gonna just stick by him. I'm gonna just stick with him. You know, this energy is known as the page of wands. So let's talk about the page of cups. So this is another page. You know, this is another page that you might have to make sure that you and your sea goddess is on this same page. So the page of cups brings you creative and spiritual and emotional opportunities, charged with feminine energy and ruled by the element of water. This benevolent page is here to show you the way to self-care and healing. This page of cups is a ally for artists. You know, the presence indicates inspiration and creative flow. Now, this is the page of cups that a lot of us black men need, that came from real hardcore backgrounds. You know, this is the page of cups that represents the grandmama. You know, and as a woman, you got to be very, very astute, very, very emotionally astute. Like a Cancer moon, you got to be emotionally astute. This is the reason why Tupac and Left Eye would have been so good together, because Left Eye, she was working on herself to be more open, and when you saw how Left Eye was looking in that documentary, man, she was glowing. Like her skin was glowing, she was smiling, she was so beautiful. And think about the hard lifestyle, the hard life that Tupac was in, you know, and he trying to hold on to his innocence in this messed up world, and he got a rider like Left Eye, you know, the type of woman to where and I'm not saying this in an abusive way, but the type of woman to where, you know, he can put all of he can, you know, put all of his traumas on her, and she can transmute it in an alchemical type of way, you know, and always keep him ship shape, always keep him in tip top shape, you know. This is, in a lot of ways, this is the 808 and Dambala relationship. This is like the Oya and Ogun relationship. You know, you got the man that's been working in the factory. You know, he working hard. You know, you trying to keep him motivated. He working hard. The white men telling him, you know, treating him like a little child and all this stuff. So he come home, and you gotta pour that spiritual essence back into him that he lost, you know, trying to take care of the family. And you can be the page of cups, where you got this cup that you can pour into him and reinvigorate him with your feminine energy, you know. So this is a page where this is very, very dependent on the woman. You know, she has to tell you herself that this is the page that I can be for you. This is what I can be for you. And as a man, if you're a lot more lighthearted in your nature, where you don't really need this, you know, you got to let her go. And you got to look for more of a page of wands type of woman, you know. Um, even when we're talking about business and stuff like that, this is that witch that you got in the cut that nobody knows about, and she's the one that can keep you right emotionally, keep you together, you know. She can always heal you and stuff, she can take care of you, she can heal you, and it don't always got to be in a sexual way, because I just showed you how just from a man's touch and voice, just from a man's voice alone, he can make a woman orgasm. So think about the power that a woman have, that she can bestow on her man in a healing and caring way. And she don't gotta have sex with him. She ain't gotta touch him, in his private part. She ain't gotta do none of that. You know, this is very important. You know, um, then also, so the other page is the page of pentacles. This is another page that you might have to make sure that you and your sea goddess is on. The page of pentacles. The page of pentacles. This speaks of the very first steps into a new venture or possibly a profitable idea. On that first season of Insecure, or what was that movie? Acrimony. The guy on Acrimony, he needed a woman who was a page of pentacles. James St. Patrick from Power, he needed a woman that was on the same page of pentacles with him. These are guys who they're on the very first steps of doing something new, and they need someone who's going to who's going to keep them on that direction. Tasha, the reason why there was a opening to where Angela can end up getting with James, was because Angela, she seemed like she was the only one that was happy for James to stop doing crime, while Tasha, she looking at it like, damn, like, this is gonna be a lot slower, you know uh I'm not gonna be able to have my Birkin bags, and we're gonna have to downsize and all of this stuff, when at the end of the day, James ended up having the most profitable club around there, you know so this is still a lot of work ahead, but the ideas brought to you by this page are valuable and solid. So this is a goddess to where, when y'all are together, and you're doing this new thing, you're doing this new idea, you're on this new venture, she's not pouring a bunch of negativity. She's not giving you a bunch of negativity. All she's doing is giving you golden nuggets. You're like, baby, I want to start a detailing business. Baby, I want to start a art exhibit or art museum or something like that. So while you're at work, doing your side job, your girl is at home looking up buildings. Your girl is at home, she calls some of her girls up. She calls some of her guy friends up that need their cars detailed, and she kind of, she batted her eyes. She did a little sweet talking to him. So now she's like, babe, guess what? You like, what? What's up, babe? What's up? She like, so while you were gone, you was talking about that you needed some help. You had this detailing business that you wanted to do, and guess what? I got you 10 new customers. Like, damn, babe, like, for real? Like, yeah, I got you 10 customers, and I got my iPhone. So while you're detailing the car, I'm gonna use my iPhone and take a video of it, and then since I'm gonna be at home and stuff like that, while you're at work, I'm gonna take the videos and make TikToks out of them, and then I'm gonna put those TikToks online with your business and stuff like, man. I'm telling you, dog, if you got a woman and y'all can get on this same page together, it's nothing that y'all can't do. You know, I know I'm talking to somebody right now. I know I'm talking to somebody right now. If you get on this same page, um, whatever new thing, and this is good for a Gemini. This is good for a Gemini because we always have new ideas, but we may not have the resources to do it. So, this new idea ends up passing us by, and we end up seeing somebody else that's doing our idea. And we're like, damn, like that could have been me. You know. Um. So this is important. You know. Um. Let's see. So the next page and the last page, the next page and the last page that you got to make sure that you and your sea goddess is on is the page of swords. You know, so the page of swords is the most spiritually and intellectually powerful of all the pages. More than a messenger and a passive figure, the page of swords is a protector and an ally. While not mighty, while not a mighty powerful figure like the knight of swords or the king of swords, his presence is nevertheless the sign of a general protection and privileges. You know, the page of swords rules over communication and speaks of superior intelligence. A sharp thinker, progressive, and simply brilliant. This page is all about the power of the mind. You know, so um, so if you got a sea goddess and y'all are able to get on this page, you know, y'all y'all kind of got this sonar type of communication with each other. You know, y'all got this type of bond to where um when she's telling you something, when she's telling you that something ain't right in the air, when she's telling you that something is off or something like that, you know, um you understand you understand that she's not saying this in a negative way, and you believe her because she done proved to you time and time again. She done proved to you time and time again that you know that she's not just talking out the side of her neck when she's trying to tell you something. This right here, this kind of represents that football player that I was telling you about. The one who won the championship because while he was asleep, his wife was whispering spells into his ear and giving him this plant medicine and all of this stuff. You know, so so you know so you and your sea goddess, y'all have you as a captain, with your boat and with your boat, you've scaled up, you've upsized, you've scaled your boat. So so you have a boat that is scalable enough to be a ship. You're honest, you're honest with the sea goddess that you're with. So yeah, so now y'all are on the same page. Now y'all are on the same page. Y'all got all that together. So now it's time for a confirmation. Now it's a time for a confirmation to be made. Once you've done all of this work, look at all this work that you had to do before you got to this particular point. You had to do all of this work. You had to do all of this stuff, and now it's time for you to make a confirmation. You've done all of this stuff with your manifestation. You've seen that it worked. Now it's time for you to make a confirmation that this is going to be my principal way of manifesting. This is going to be a principal partnership. We're going to have a principal partnership and this is going to be the headquarters. And this is the agreement that we're making. This, ladies and gentlemen, this is called a marriage. This the agreement that you have with your sea goddess. Once y'all have agreed that y'all can be on the same page together, and she's like yes, and you're like, well, you know, will you marry me? You know, will you go on this journey? You know, you ready to go out to the ocean? Will you marry me? You know, this is the reason why the man has to say, will you marry me? Because the woman, because at the end of the day, the woman, she has the highest advantage when leaving. You know, she can just go back out into the sea and just do her. As a man, when you on a boat and you lose your navigation system on the boat, you can be shit out of luck. You know, you can be shit out of luck, and this is how it always have been. You know, this shit ain't new. This always how it's been. So it was always meant for the guy to tell the woman, will you marry me? You know, but the reason why it sounds simpish now is because we're not uh um we're not living in the same laws that that we were living in when this actually made sense. You know, so now you have a marriage. Now you say, will you marry me? And she says yes. So now a ritual has to happen, because it's not just you saying yes. Now a ritual has to happen. You know, a ritual has to happen to let the sea goddesses family know that this sea goddess is about to be on this journey with this captain, and now you can unloosen your hold on her. You know, so it's kind of like you've adopted her. You know, now she's your goddess. She's your sea goddess, and she agreed. When she said yes, she agreed to do that. You know, through sickness and health, through rich or for poor, for better or for worse. She agreed to do that. You know, so the air that she once had, you know, she's now throwing that to the side, and she's now a part of your life path. She's now a part of your journey. You know, now does this mean that you just gonna have her caged up and she'll never see her family again and all that? No, but this agreement means that when you see her again, you gotta recognize her as, you know, just say as a man, your name is Mr. Johnson. You gotta recognize that she's Mrs. Johnson now. She's not Mrs. Jones anymore. You know, she's Mrs. Johnson. She's Mrs. Johnson now, and you have to respect her as such. You know, so a ritual has to happen. You know, a ceremony has to happen, and the way the ceremony is set up, there's a ayah, there's a level, there's a ayah that is raised up. You know, and this is where the sea goddess gains legs. You know, you're already walking on water, so she's walking with you hand in hand, and y'all walk down the aisle together. You know, y'all walk down the aisle, y'all walk down the aisle together as one. We are now one conglomerate. We are now one conglomerate. We're now one being. You know, when you see me, when you see my wife, you see me. When you see me, you see my wife. We're reflecting. We're reflections of each other. I'm the yang. I'm the new yang. She's the new yin. That's why when you get married, the woman wears white and the man wears black. This all has to do with Baron Samedi. You know, one represents death, one represents life. You know, one wears white, and then the other one wears black. You know, and when y'all kiss the bride, that's the consummation. Now, 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 this is the time. Now that you've made the consummation, now that you've made the confirmation, now that you've made the marriage, now that you've signed the contract with your business partners, and you're like, okay, this is the business, this is what we're gonna do. We now have a corporation. you know now it's time for us to go out and start looking for other investors, because now it's time for us to multiply our businesses. you know since we know that it's going to be a tight ship. This is going to be a tight ship. We got to have more hands on deck. We got to have more hands on deck, because we about to expand and have franchises all over. And you got to be able to have enough hands on deck, enough staff. You got to have enough staff to comfort you. 23rd number songs in the Bible: my rod and my staff, they comfort me. The staff is a bunch of people. you know and this is the reason why back in the day grandmama had 13, 14, 15 kids. This is the reason why. you know and the only time that the sea goddess grow legs and jump on the boat is when it's time to have kids. When it's time to have kids, because all hands on deck. We gotta create more versions of ourselves that can keep this going once we die. We gotta create more versions of ourselves that can help. That can help keep things going. Because I'm not gonna be young forever. You're not. As a woman, you're not gonna be young forever. So it'll behoove you, if you're trying to really create generational wealth, you got to create some kids. That's gonna be able to enjoy the wealth and keep it going. Why do you think these royal families are so powerful? Now there's a lot of incest going on, but the whole thing is about keeping it in the family. You'll never see the family of Pennzoil, the Pennzoil family get with some regular Joe Schmo and end up losing all of that fortune, end up losing all of that hard earned generational wealth. You'll never see that. So this is very important, and this and only this is the reason why that you will want to get married, or that you would even be thinking about getting married. And this is the only reason why you would be thinking about having kids. If you have this type of business already, you got this already, and you found a sea goddess, and y'all are both on the same page, and you're able to have this agreement, and everything goes smoothly. Because sometimes, when you're trying to get certain things and certain agreements, you got to wait for the bank to approve it. Like, you got to wait. There's still some patience along with it. It's a lot that goes into this. But again, this isn't how we think about relationships, and this isn't how we think about marriage. This isn't how we think about having kids and stuff like that. But this is the reason why the people that quote unquote rule over us, this is the reason why they're so powerful, because they're a powerful family, not because they're powerful individuals. They're bullshit individuals, but their family name is powerful. You say, I'm a DuPont, that name goes a long way. I'm a Hilton. My name is Mr. Hilton. My name is Mr. Walton. You know, they're like, oh shit. You're the heir to Walmart. You know, how many of y'all got a last name that's that powerful that you can just walk around and you could be down on your luck. You can be poor. Somebody say, hey, what's going on with your name? Oh shit, I'm Mr. I'm Mr. Starbucks. Like, oh word, oh my God, I can't have you out here looking like this. You Mr. Starbucks, man. I love you. Your family is the reason why my family has been able to survive during college. Because we all worked at Starbucks and all that stuff, man. I can't have you out here looking like this. Let me pour some money in your pocket. Let me help you out. How many of y'all can really say that you got a family name like that? You know, let's be honest. You know, being honest with you, I should be able to walk around and say my last name and have that same type of prestige. You know, but the prestige in my name, it comes from it comes from some BS that, being honest with you, I don't even want to associate with that. The only reason why I rep my last name is because I had a good dad, and I love my dad. I'm the fourth. My dad had nine siblings. Well, eight siblings, plus him. And out of those siblings, I'm the only one. I'm the fourth junior. I'm the fourth junior out of all of my siblings, or all of my dad's siblings that had children. I'm the fourth out of the nine children. I'm the fourth junior. You know, and I'm the there's only four of us, and only two out of the four have never been to jail. Only two out of the four have never had kids out of wedlock. And only two out of the four have a real propensity, to be successful, because we got our whole life ahead of us. Only two of us, me and my younger cousin. You know, no, they all shit and nothing hard earn about them. Yeah, and it's not, that's just how it is. We're not taught this. We're not taught this. So I gotta be the one to pronunciate what Kevin Samuels tried to pronunciate as a Pisces. But since he was in a toxic, water, that that's kind of is kind of that toxic water is there's no salvaging that toxic water. you know so him being a Pisces, he never would have truly been able to enunciate what I just did in 5 days in his whole career. And that's not being negative towards Kev, but I understood what he was up against. you know I have a lot of talks with women in private that Kevin had on his show, on a public platform. And with my experience and with my expertise, I know that you can get a lot more therapy done with a woman in private than in public, where all her friends can be watching, all the other girls, all the other women that's influenced by her can be watching. So sometimes she can put on a show in front of everybody else and end up missing the whole message. But when she get in private, it's a different story, but you'll never see that. It's a lot of shit. It's a lot of shit. A lot of good positive things that Kevin did in his group, in his private group, that a lot of people would never know because of the public perception of him. You know, I started doing my animation. I got real sick. I never got a chance to finish the I never got a chance to finish that Pisces, that Pisces series that I had. You know, um but that was one of the main things that, you know and it's nothing against him, but when it comes to conversations and communications and things like that, um a experienced Gemini, somebody who's a Gemini, and he really 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 knows his way with words, he can get a lot farther than a Pisces can when it comes to communication, especially if he knows how to communicate with the subconscious mind through hypnotherapy. You know, um, because with that, you can talk to a woman's inner child. You can talk to someone's inner self. In a snap. You know, and that subconscious part of you do not lie. I've seen women get hypnotized in front of public and tell their sex capades. Tell the men that she cheated on her man with. Like, you can't lie. There's no lying in therapy. There's no lying. You know, and then and only then are you truly going to be able to manifest the way you want to. Then and only then are you going to be able to build generational wealth and have healthy relationships. So when we put it all together, um, are you that somebody? You know, are you that somebody who got the ignition inside, the Aya? I told y'all, Aaliyah and R. Kelly, they left some clues behind about all of this. When you study, and I ain't even in talk about the other two songs. I just focused on Rock the Boat and I Believe I Can Fly, because these are the things that, as a black community, as black people, we suffer with this the most. This system, as men, it takes away our belief to fly, that we can be fly, that we can fly. And for women, they're so deep in their emotions, it's hard for them to float. It's hard for them to float up to the top where they can get on the boat. And they scared to rock the boat. They're scared when the boat start rocking. They're not working in the middle. They're not working from the inner child, from their inner self. So when it's time to change positions and start stroking, there's an argument. Why do I gotta do that? Why do I gotta be take this role? Why do I gotta do this? You supposed to be the man. You supposed to do this. Why do I gotta do this? And you like, yo, like, I'm sick. I'm sick. I'm going through something right now. I need us to change positions so we can still go in the right direction. But again, this is what happens when you're not on the same page. So at the end of the day, you gotta always keep your belief, your belief that you can fly. You can always, you should, that should always be your ignition. And sometimes you gotta remix that ignition, to keep it fresh out the kitchen. Sometimes you gotta remix that ignition so it can always be fresh out the kitchen. And your belief that you can fly is that ignition. So, so in your woman's eyes, you can always be one in a million, because she don't never find nobody like you. Knowing this knowledge, knowing this information, you're always going to be that somebody to her. You're always going to be that one in a million. And since you got this drive, you got this ignition, and you can fly, you always believe that you can fly no matter what. No matter how much the boat has to rock, no matter how much, y'all gotta change positions and all of that type of stuff. The stroke is gonna never fade. The stroke is never gonna fade. And if y'all can heed that message, my friends, y'all will be glad that y'all did. So yes, I feel like I got through all of it in 6 days, so I can rest on the seventh day. Got through all of it. So Akasha, Oshun, I need my care package. I need my care package sent to me stat because I completed the mission. I completed the mission. I did it. I did it. So I need my care package. I need my personal care package. Akasha and Oshun, you know. So I hope y'all got something from this series. I don't know how long this gonna stay up. I'm gonna have to chop this video up and take the music off. Let me see. We got 10 minutes. Y'all got any questions? This have been a 6 day lecture. Anybody got any questions? Anybody got anything? For the people who donated, I appreciate y'all. I think I got some donations through. Um, what you say, Satrill? She-Hulk is funny as fuck. Um, I gotta watch She-Hulk. I gotta watch it and see how it is. I'm finna go get me a. Oh dang! I can't get another refill because that means I gotta turn this off. So does anybody got any questions? Anybody got anything for me right quick? Because I'm about to go in here in this Starbucks and get me a refill. Y'all be praying for a brother that I stay safe out here in these streets. You know, uh, mission's complete. Yeah, I did it. That's why I came on early. You know, because this was like a extra credit. It was like if you can finish all of this today, then you won't have to go live tomorrow. But if you can't finish it all today, then you gotta go live tomorrow. You know, so I'm happy. This was definitely a mission, a hell of a mission. You know, uh, I think now there's a lot of things in my notes that I didn't get to about the business, about the bee's nest, about the pea's nest. You know how all of that is the same energy. Um, but I might talk about that. Uh, on another time. I might talk about that on another time. You know. So um, so yeah, I'm still trying to get this funding together for episode 3. Shout out to my voice actor who's going to voice the new Orisha that's going to be in episode 3. I'm so happy. There may be a trailer. There may be a trailer that's going to come out showcasing this Orisha. I may come out with like a trailer. I may end up doing like a side story about her. So y'all just stay tuned. And donate. Support. I can't do it myself. I need support. You know, calling all sea goddesses. Calling all sea goddesses. He said, Ashe. Does Ashe fuse with Aaliyah? Oh, that was the other thing. So you got Aya, Aiiah. When you put the L in front of the I and the Ya, you get Aaliyah. That's why when she said her name, it was Aaliyah. Her name was Aaliyah, not Aaliyah, because it was two A's. It was Aaliyah. It was like a wave. It's like a wave going downward. When you peep the waveform of her name, Aaliyah. Aaliyah. Oh, when you I live through Lori Harvey. That's the last secret I'm giving y'all. Aaliyah lives through Lori Harvey. So shout out to Lori Harvey. You know, shout out to Aaliyah. You know, she's living her best life right now. You know, she doing good. She living her best life. So don't be out here talking shit about Lori Harvey because that's Aaliyah. So y'all leave Lori Harvey alone. Y'all leave her alone. She just living her best life. You know, she would be doing the same shit that Aaliyah would be doing if she was herself. She would have played Dame Dash. She would have ended up who she really wanted to be with, and it would be nothing that nobody could do. You know, so I say to her, um, but Aaliyah was meant to be in the water, not in the air. That was a spiritual thing about that plane. You know, Aya is the highest plane that you can go. Aya, that's the highest plane that you can go. You know, so when you over here, uh, you know, you gotta dive into this fucked up world and be the princess of R&B and have all of those sharks around you and stuff like that. You know, um, when she got on that plane and she went up in the air, she never came back down. She didn't come back down. She like fuck this world. You know, I want to be Lori Harvey. Fuck this world. Fuck this world. I want to be Lori Harvey. I ain't gonna tell you who Tupac is, but I'm gonna tell y'all about Aaliyah. So Ashe to Akasha. You know, shout out to everybody that's here, everybody that checked this out. I'm about to go get me another refill of this tea because I didn't drop too much tea. I done gave y'all way too much tea, you know, that y'all can sip on until we meet again. So no matter what, make sure y'all stay shining, man. It's Leo season. We getting towards the end of Leo season. Ashe to young Ease, to Ease, my uncle, aka my cousin, my uncle that's 3 years older than me, that taught me how to rap, that taught me everything I know. His birthday is tomorrow, the 19th. So shout out to him. And yeah, y'all stay shining.